Evening guys, this is the Critical Training Series, episode 3, Progressive Overload. I'm Christian Summers, the strength and conditioning coach at Expert Sports Performance. I'm the one that does the monthly weight training programs, and throughout summer we're going to be doing the rest of this series. So, this episode, Progressive Overload. The concept of progressive overload is basically increasing the difficulty of your sessions, whether that be through increasing the reps, the sets, the intensity, or reducing the rest periods of your workouts. And all of this eventually drives adaptation as you make the workouts harder and harder each time. So, common misconceptions and issues regarding progressive overload and progressing and getting better with your weight sessions. People going too heavy is probably number one. So obviously if you're going too heavy each time, you're not meeting the rep sets, you're not meeting your targets, you fail on lifts. It's going to knock your confidence, it's going to affect the rest of your session, how you progress in the rest of the session, and basically you're not going to progress at the rate at which you should do. Also, I think we're going too heavy is you risk injury, which means you can't train at all. So that's the worst thing. 2, on the flip side, you can be too strict, you can be too conservative with your weights. If you're sticking to a program, it's good to have realistic goals and achieve them. So say if you do 3 sets of 8 on an exercise one week, an achievable goal is 3 sets of 10 the following week. Or an achievable goal might be 4 sets of 8 if you've done 3 sets of 8 the week before. Say if you're feeling good though, don't be too strict. Don't hold yourself back with these goals. Push yourself. So if you do feel especially good one workout, go harder. Don't be too strict and too conservative because you're missing opportunities for potential of growth and strength. Third main big misconception is that progression is linear. So often, I'll show you, people think that you'll progress in strength and size and all the other attributes you get from going to the gym and your weight training like this. They think that you progress, as time goes on, you just continually get better and better and better. But in actual fact, in real life, there'll be times when you dip in performance, times when you do better, and so on. This could be like the dips in performance are just, they do happen. I don't know anyone that just continuously gets better non-stop all the time for years on end. Usual dips, it can be to do with stress, rest, like recovery strategies that you're not utilising maybe, and maybe not adequate nutrition. It may also be a program, so you might need to change your program, or the program you might be on might not be working how it should be. It might be that your program did work, it has worked before, but it's not working now, and that's common. People often will try and do programs that they did 3 years ago because they're like, oh yeah, my squat went up by 20 kilos in 6 weeks doing this 3 years ago, but now you're a different person, your body changes and you adapt to new stimulus, so you have to try new things. And that's why you continuously got to try and change your programs every 6 to 8 weeks or so. So yeah. Right, so how to take this into your own training. So with going too heavy and all that, you need to respect the program. Rule number 1. So if say you're scheduled in for a lighter day of say higher rep sets, moderate intensity, and it's say 3 days out or 4 days out from a game you've got, do that. Don't push it. Don't be going to failure. Don't be doing super heavy sets, because 1, if you're training to failure and you're doing super heavy sets, you're not going to progress how you should do, and 2, you're going to mess up your performance in the game of the weekend, which is, you just defeat the whole object of training for your sport, for your weights training. So yeah, respect the program and expect achievable outcomes from your progressions. Number 2, so with the being too conservative and too strict with your program and that side of it, if your warm-up sets, say on deadlift, are feeling exceptionally good and they're going up fast and you're feeling stronger, then that day, if you're supposed to schedule in to do 3 sets of 8 with say 140 kilos, push it to 145 or 150 at a push. However, bearing in mind, if you have got a game close, This mostly applies to off season, because if you've got a game close, you don't want to be fatiguing yourself too much. You just want to make sure that you are progressing at a steady rate. So yeah, sometimes it's hard to tell whether your speed's moving fast, because sometimes you won't necessarily feel great in yourself. But if you have someone, if you record you set yourself, or you have someone with you who trains with you regularly, and they can assess whether that weight has moved really fast for you, or they can just assess whether it just moves fast in general. Because if the weight's moving fast, generally that's a sign that you are strong that day. Yeah, and like we said with the graph on the other side, where the progression goes up and down, sometimes you have peaks in strength where you will feel better and you will progress from that. So yeah, warm-up sets feel fast, and they are fast. Push the weight. On the flip side to that again, if you're not having a great day, it's time to think critically about your training. So you need to think, right, sometimes you might panic. That's what people sometimes will panic and say, oh, I've been progressing really well. I've gone to the gym today, you're thinking, and you're not lifting, you're supposed to lift, say, 110 kilos on the bench, and you're getting over like 95 or something like that. And people are like, oh no, my program's not working, I need to change something drastically. Oftentimes, guys, it's just a question of your recovery, your sleep, your food, your stress, stuff like that. And if you've had a hard session the day before, or you've had a really hard game at the weekend where you've performed and done a lot more volume of work than you would usually do in a game, that can also affect your weight. So don't be worried, and don't do anything too drastic every time that you have a bad session. But do think critically. Do think, right, have I drank enough water today? Have I eaten enough? Have I done the things that I usually do when I'm performing well for this session? And also think, have you had quite a stressful week at work? Or are you having relationship issues? All these kind of things, it sounds silly, but stuff like relationship issues, stuff like that, can affect your stress, obviously. And then it can actually affect your performance in the gym if your cortisol levels are really high. Cortisol is a stress hormone, by the way. So yeah, I hope you can apply some of that to your own training, start thinking critically about your training, and making sure that you get the adaptations and the progression that you want. In terms of using progressive overload into your own training, an easy way that you can do it, say for those who don't really know, like I said earlier, if you do 3 sets of 8 1 week, progress to 3 sets of 10, then 3 sets of 12 on that given weight, and then on the 4th week, increase the weight, 3 sets of 8 again. Repeat that process. That's one easy way to do it. Another way, if you're using heavier loads, so say 3 sets of 5, say if you can do 3 sets of 5 on a weight, being that the last set you might be able to get 5.5 reps, 6 reps. The following week, go to 4 sets of 5. Pushing up to 5 sets of 5 the week after, and then going back to 3 sets of 5 with a heavier weight. These are all really quite moderate but achievable ways that most people can progress in the weights and get stronger and bigger and better. And don't forget, guys, getting stronger is the base for getting faster. So don't dismiss that. Right, I hope you can take some of that into your own training. That's been episode 3 of the Critical Training Series, Progressive Overload. I'm Christian Summers, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.